아이스크림도 그리 유용하지는 않다. 트위터가 세상에 처음 등장했을 때 재밌긴 하지만 쓸모는 없어서 성공하긴 어렵겠다. 이런 평가에 대해서 트위터 창업자가 했던 말입니다. 이제 전 세계 2억 8,400만 명의 인구가 사용하는 이 소셜네트워크 서비스에 대해서 쓸모가 없다 이렇게 말하는 사람은 아마 없겠죠. 140자로 소통하는 트위터의 파급력은 이제 무시할 수 없을 정도가 됐는데 오늘 특별한 한 분을 저희 뉴스룸 스튜디오에 모셨습니다. 트위터를 만든 공동 창업자이고 또 현재 트위터 회장인 잭 도시 회장입니다. 제 옆에 지금 나와 계십니다. Nice to meet you, Mr. Jack Dorsey.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You are visiting Korea for the first time, and with a very short schedule here.
No, this is my first time in Korea, and I've only been here a few hours, so I'm excited to learn more.
You know, Twitter in August has filed a suit against the U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI. Why did you do that, and how is it going now?
Well, one of the core values of Twitter has always really been around transparency. And you see that in the product itself. And transparency has been important both internally and externally. And one of the things that we've done in Twitter is make sure that we always have the folks who use the service first and foremost in every single thing that we do. So anytime a government makes a request for information, we want to make sure that we can also let the world know that that happens, no matter what government it is. And that's why we did it.
Oh, yeah. Korea is facing cyber censorship issues as well, you know. Do you know about that?
I don't. I'm not that familiar with it.
There are many Koreans who recently are using foreign messenger applications to avoid such domestic censorship. You said you don't know about that exactly, but what are your thoughts on it?
I can't speak for other companies, but for us at Twitter, we've had a track record of really protecting the voice of the people that use the service every single day.
Last summer, you supported the Ferguson protests and also tweeted on the protests scene. What makes you speak out your thoughts on touchy issues in society?
Well, Ferguson in particular, because I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and Ferguson is a county that's about 15 minutes away from the place where I grew up. And it was important for me to first witness what was happening in my city and my metropolitan area, but also to represent that it wasn't just a problem within the county, but it was a metropolitan area. It was inclusive of everything that was happening in St. Louis City as well. And it was amazing to see how people were using these technologies on the ground and sharing what was right before that so they could bring in the entire world to that conversation and to share it in real time. So I think it's important for us all to speak about what's happening in the world and what we're most passionate about. And
could it be your intention to maximize the power of Twitter? We know you're the president of the Twitter company.
Well, I always want Twitter to reach this maximum potential, and I think it has the potential to reach every single person on this planet.
However, there is a fatal flaw in Twitter that allows misinformation and mistakes to spread. What do you think about it?
Well, these are opinions, and these are how people are using a technology. Twitter as a technology is no different from any other technology in that people can spread truth or people can spread misinformation. And it's up to us to make sure that we're amplifying the truth. And that's not the role of one company, it's the role of society, it's the role of civilization to really surface the truth. No one technology is going to do that for us. I don't consider that to be a flaw. I consider that to be a great strength because you get to judge what is right and what is truthful to you.
But if misled information spreads, then there will be a victim. Fixing the wrong information later actually means very, very little. Because the first misleading information is what leaves the strongest mark on people's thinking, people's action, and people's mind. And what do you think about it?
I don't agree with that. I think the truth leaves the strongest mark. And I think there's always going to be moments when people naturally have speculation around what's happening. and that speculation quickly turns into fact. And I'm an optimist in the sense that the truth will always prosper.
President of Turkey, he once was a prime minister of Turkey, once said that Twitter is society's worst menace. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember he said like that meaning anyway. What would you like to tell him?
Well, you know, I think it gives everyone in the world a chance to see what people really think and what people really want to say, and sometimes that's uncomfortable. But I think it's important to see every voice, and I think it's important to hear every voice and then make up your own opinion about which way society should go or which decision you should make. And cutting that off and blocking that and stopping that blocks an opportunity to really evolve and to grow and to change. And I hope that every one of our governments, in their goal of serving the people, are listening to the people.
All right. IT geniuses like you all left college and started his own business, including yourself, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Twitter's co-founder Evan Williams. Does it make you more creative and profound if you don't get college education?
I don't think so at all. Maybe less so, but I think, you know, everyone learns in a different way. And I think the most important thing that you can do for yourself is understand how you learn best. And for me, I was learning a whole lot more in a way that was much more tangible and more real outside of school than I was inside of school. I wanted to get into the workforce right away. And I wanted to experience it, and I wanted to build, and I wanted to create. And you know, my background in school was computer science, and I saw a lot of my computer science program, at least, go into academia, and I really wanted to apply what I was learning very, very quickly. So I was a little bit impatient, but I was learning so much outside of school that I chose that as my path. But that is not going to be the right path for everyone. It's just as admirable to go another way.
So what is the philosophy of 140 characters?
Well, 140 characters started...
You're never going to change that rule, right?
I think it's a useful constraint. I think there's a way to still point to other experiences, even though the constraint exists. And the reason that constraint exists are for two reasons. Number one is that we built the system originally with a big factor around SMS, text messaging. So people could text in a tweet, and they could also receive all their tweets via text messages. And text messages were limited to 160 characters. And we took 20 characters for what we called the username, the @ symbol, and the name behind it. And we arrived at 140 characters. But the second reason 140 characters was important to us is that we all believe that constraint, when you limit the size of the canvas, it inspires you to be a little bit more creative. It inspires you to be a little bit more off the cuff and in the moment. And we've actually seen that as well.
You expressed your thoughts that one day you are going to run for New York's mayor. Why?
My parents grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and my parents always stood by the city. And the city that I was most inspired by when I was a kid was New York City. So there was always this guiding ambition to be a mayor of New York someday. But I think my work in Square and my work in Twitter has potentially broader influence and potentially broader impact than what I could do with just being a mayor of a city, and I think switching gears to the realm of diplomacy and politics would be a very, very hard shift to make. And I just think there's a lot more we can do with both Twitter and Square that can have as deep of an impact.
I know you arrived just a few hours ago, and where is the first place that you want to go after this interview?
You know, the first thing I do when I visit a new city is just walk around. So I love walking, and I love walking in cities. So I would love to just taken Seoul by foot.
Maybe many Korean Twitterians will recommend you the hot places in
Offer
Seoul
me a
City.
tour. Yeah, I would love any recommendations.
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.